Hey everybody, here I am in the Final Listen Outdoors office. You know what, as deer season is in full swing throughout the country, it just kind of made me think about, we've been really blessed, man. We've been able to take some great bucks here on the show. And I thought, let's kind of do a breakdown. Let's do some videos kind of showing the biggest deer that have been taken on Final Listen Outdoors. And I wanted to start with the two biggest. We've had two bucks that have scored over 200 inches. And man, we've got guys that film for us in Kentucky, Missouri, Illinois, Iowa. We've had, lots of hunts in Kansas, Ohio, big buck states. But the two 200-inch deer that have ever been killed on Final Listen Outdoors, both of them came from the state of Oklahoma, and both of them probably came within about an hour and a half drive of one another as well. So South Central Oklahoma, our first buck was killed season 5. It was 204 inches, and he's just known as a Carricker buck. Jason Carricker had been a part of Final Listen Outdoors, filmed for us, even in an ownership position, a part of the show. And this was a backyard buck. This was a buck that we learned actually a lot of people actually had pictures of. This deer was, where Jason lives. He lives on 80 acres, and he killed the deer on 80 acres. And a lot of neighbors, a lot of people had pictures of this buck. And so Jason was able to get lucky enough to catch up to him with a muzzleloader, and just an absolute stud of a buck. So we're going to hop in, show you a little bit of that footage from that episode, let you see this 204-inch Oklahoma bruiser.
I just killed the biggest buck of my life, and he is laying right over there. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. This has been a long time coming. He's right there. Right there. First of all, I just want to thank God for giving me the opportunity to harvest this deer. I've hunted him so hard over the last 3 years, and a lot of hours away from my family, and just glad that I have a wife that allows me to do this. We started out as a split G2 9-pointer 3 years ago, maybe 140 inches, nothing great, and I would have never guessed he would have turned into this.
Well, that's an unbelievable deer, and obviously a deer of a lifetime. Jason actually got him full body mounted. It's just a cool buck. He's bedded down. It's just a cool mount too. So anyway, so big congrats to Jason. Second biggest buck that's ever been killed on the show. But our biggest buck, we just aired season 12, is the Maxwell buck. If you watch that episode, we'll make sure we put a little deal right here so you can catch that if you hadn't seen it. But the Maxwell buck, Johnny Maxwell shoots this 214-inch Oklahoma giant last year. So he shot that in 2021, and just an absolute bruiser of a deer. But what makes it so cool is the fact that Johnny had a Widowmaker heart attack. We almost lost him. He has to wear a battery pack that pumps his heart every night. So Johnny goes, literally plugs himself in the wall every night, charges his batteries, can't walk super far, just lost a lot of strength through the process of battling back from having that heart attack. And so, but Johnny, along with, his buddies and fellow staffers, Paul Powers and Trent Parrish, are able to help him get in position to be able to take this buck with a crossbow. Johnny's always compound hunted, but at this point with his heart condition, he's not able to draw a compound back. Took a crossbow out and arrowed an absolute giant. And we wanted to show that footage to you as well. And so those are our two biggest bucks that have ever been killed on the show. So let's hop in. Let's see Johnny Maxwell run a thorn broadhead through an absolute stud.
You can see I get the camera, I don't even get my, I'm trying to video and you can actively see me shaking and I'm the camera guy. And the wind is, if the wind's iffy, but he throws his head up and looks, I'm thinking, please, please, please don't wind us. And I lean up and look to our right and there's 3 does come out of the creek. And when he sees them, he just drops his head and just jogs to them, just grunting. And I'm like, oh gosh. I said, he's coming. He's already up and ready. When he sees the does, he just nods his head and I'm like, keep him in the frame because we're right where we need to be. This man knew enough to get to our kill spot. We knew where we'd come. We knew this was our kill shot. And all he had to do when that buck walked in was put his head down and he laid down over there. Hey, we did it. You did it. Words can't describe it. But finally we climb down, we go find the arrow. It looks just like it's supposed to, just like you want it to.
I was still looking in a little bit of a panic mode. About where he told me he wasn't there. And then I laid the eyes on him. Poor buck.
Look at that deer.
Oh my God, Johnny Maxwell, what have you done?
What a deer.
It's just indescribable. I waited for him 40 years.
We done it, brother. We done it. Gosh almighty, we done it.
I told you. That's what a booner looks like.
I think he's a burner.
God, what a buck. You know what happened a year ago to tomorrow? I shot OD. We owe a ton of credit to Trent. He's been running this camera. Unbelievable blessed to have a buck like this, to get to hunt deer like this with my best friend and Josh and Trent. This is the biggest buck I've ever seen on the hoof, and I couldn't think of anybody in the world more deserving to get him than Johnny Maxwell.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the 2 biggest bucks ever killed on Final Descent Outdoors. Thought this would kind of be fun to be able to highlight both of those bucks together for you guys to be able to see that. 2 just absolute monster bucks. And so if you guys like this and want to see more of it, I'd love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you haven't already done that, please do so. Let us know what you thought about these bucks. These are all free-range deer. This is no high fence. That always seems to happen, man. Like somebody kills a big deer, oh, it's in high fence. These are both free-range deer. There is no high fence, anything like that. These are 100% wild deer. And so anyway, but I'd love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you want to see more, we got other big bucks. I'd love to do a series on what are the next, 2 biggest bucks of that have been taken on Final Descent Outdoors. Because we got a 196 that barely missed 200 that came off the same farm as the 214. Pretty incredible. So we may have to do a whole series on that as well. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching the Carricker buck, watching the Maxwell buck. Maybe eventually someday the Lord will bless us with another 200-inch deer. I just like for him to bless me with a booner. I haven't been able to get one as the host of the show, But man, we got some great guys that film for us, and I'm thankful for them. All right, see you guys on the next one.